Welcome in. Jesse Schule here from jesseschule.com. My daily post-game analysis for Thursday, February the 9th. Before I get into the post-game analysis, though, let me remind you, smash that like button, follow the channel, and please offer your comments below the videos. Let's get into the updates for recapping the games. I didn't come on yesterday, so I missed Wednesday's recap. So we'll do that first. I had a winner on Vandy outright as an underdog. Vanderbilt was a 10.5-point underdog against rivals Tennessee. Of course, we know the rivalry between Vanderbilt and Tennessee. Vanderbilt at home getting 10.5 points. It was a bit of a letdown spot for a Tennessee team that was struggling to score in recent games. So, I cherry picked a good spot to bet on Vandy, and they didn't just cover, they won outright. My other winner on the day was West Virginia on the money line. It was a fairly reasonable price, minus 150 on West Virginia. So that's my two winners. My two losers were not so spectacular, though. It was a losing day overall. Big juice loser on Penn State money line, 185, and a big juice loser on the LA Clippers at the same price on the money line. The Penn State loss, that game went to overtime. It was a revenge game for Penn State. They have a great home record. They play well at home. Wisconsin can be a tricky team. If I'm going to give myself any criticism about how I approach that game, first, the price is always concerning when you lose a big money favorite like that, but perhaps you should be a little leery about betting against Wisconsin. They're a very inconsistent team, but it seems like they have the ability to turn it on at any point. The Clippers game, however, on the overnight line, the Clippers were -4, -4.5. I was able to get the Clippers under 2-1 as a money line favorite. They were playing an underman Dallas team with no Luka. It was going to be Kyrie Irving's first game, but coming off the big trade, it figured to be a letdown spot for Dallas. The bookmakers agreed. From the overnight line, it went from -4 all the way to -8 by tip-off. So, I was on the right side of the line. I had a closing line value. I'd like to think that if that situation presented itself again, I would do the exact same thing. The loss stung, but sometimes you do the right thing and you still lose, and you can't really change your philosophy after one loss. And that brings me to today's recap, because the opportunity did present itself again. We had an Atlanta team playing at home at full strength against a Phoenix team coming off the KD trade. And Phoenix actually dealt some of their role players for KD as well as draft picks. So they were thin. Their lineup was thin. They're already without Devin Booker. And, of course, KD wasn't going to be ready to go. So that means they've only got one of their big three, and they've become highly invested in that big three now, this Phoenix Suns team. Without Cam Johnson and some of these guys they traded, Jay Crowder, some of these role players, when they go to their bench, it's going to be interesting, because they thinned out that bench and they don't have as much depth as they did in previous seasons. But a big three featuring KD and Chris Paul and Devin Booker is going to be interesting anyways. So that was my only premium pick today, was my NBA winner. The NBA is still hot. You're currently looking at the number one NBA handicapper in 2022, 2023 at Picks and Parlays, and the number one handicapper all time at Sports Capping with NBA, and that's based on win percentage, qualifying that you have played at least 1,000 games, because there's some guys that have a higher percentage, but they've only been around for a year. It's one good season, so we're not counting that. And I do qualify that because I have had some people reach out to me and say, you're not number one in units. And, that is true. I am not number one in units. I am number one in win percentage. Sports Capping has the win percentage on their leaderboards. They show it. It's there for everybody to see. They put it there for a reason. And why is it relevant? There's different philosophies. I don't play a ton of games. I'm going to play between 100 and 150 NBA games a season. Some guys are going to play 500 games. So my units are never going to be in the same ballpark as theirs if they're hitting it a similar percentage to me. And I'm not going to tell you which way is better. That's going to be up to you. You got to decide whether you want to play 15 games a day or one game a day, or one game a day, or 5 games a week, which I put out. So that's going to be up to you. All I'm saying is I'm hitting at a higher percentage, and if that allows you to, accomplish your goals, then albeit. But some other guys are winning more units because they're betting on more games, and if that's what you want, you go see those guys. That's entirely up to you. I did do 2 free play videos for YouTube on the channel last night, and that went well. 2 outright underdog winners. We had Loyola Marymount playing St. Mary's, and the Gales were in a huge upset spot after that win over Gonzaga in overtime. They had to rally from behind, force overtime. They beat Gonzaga in OT, and then they go on the road in their next game to play Loyola Marymount, a team that had already beaten Gonzaga on their home court, mind you. And Loyola was getting 8.5 points. The history basically said St. Mary's normally beats this team by double digits. But I pointed out that last year, St. Mary's was playing at Loyola. Loyola was +7. This year, Loyola is a better team. This Loyola team beat Gonzaga. This Loyola team looks a little more competitive, and they're getting +8.5. You combine that with the potential letdown spot. Thought it was great value. Gave out that pick, and Loyola won outright in OT. The other one, similar spot, we had Northwestern in a revenge spot against Ohio State. The Buckeyes had lost 9 of their last 10. They came in as a 5-point home favorite, and I said fade that chalk because the Buckeyes just aren't playing well enough to be a favorite even on their home court. And Northwestern's just playing better basketball. It was a revenge spot for Northwestern after losing at home to Ohio State, and Northwestern won outright. What else do we got on tap today? If you don't follow me on Twitter, check me out at Jesse Schule on Twitter. Of interest today, I just posted a meme featuring my man Sean Higgs. I love Sean Higgs, but I turned him into a meme today because I was watching his midday money show, and he was wearing an orange T-shirt, and it really looked like a prison jumpsuit. So I had to do a meme with Sean Higgs in a prison jumpsuit. And check that out on Twitter. And I'll challenge Mr. Sean Higgs to hit me back, turn me into a meme of some sort, get a little bit of revenge for being turned into a meme if he so chooses. Aside from that, I will be doing some more free play videos for NBA games and college basketball today. So check out the channel. You see the banner scrolling at the bottom of your screen. JesseSchule.com, limited time offer, 1 month, only $99. That means you get all my picks in all sports for only $99. How am I doing so far in 2023? How about 63-35, 64% overall, up 16,840 units. That's roughly 17 grand for dime players and $1,700 for $100 bettors. You want some of that money? You come and see me at JesseSchule.com. You're always welcome. Thank you and good night.